sometimes alcohol.
Yeah, the wine flush.
Yeah. You know, spicy foods.
Sensitive skin is something we can all battle with at some point in our life, whether it's genetics, changes to our hormones, or even the weather, and our skin is with us for life. So what do we do when we have sensitive skin? I'm Jo Hoare, and this is the Skin Clinic with Boots. So we're here today to talk about sensitive skin, which is something that a lot of us might have, either we've always had it or it's come and go in our life. And I've got two brilliant skin experts with me to tell me all about all things sensitivity. So Alison, do you want to tell me a bit about what you do?
Yeah, thank you. I'm a Boots beauty specialist, so my role involves having the whole store to be able to play with when I have customers that come in. So for their skin conditions, for their makeup needs, anything they need, they can come in and talk to our team and we'll literally tailor make them a perfect routine.
And Kim, what about you?
I am a number 7 advisor, and I work solely with the number 7 brand, which I think most people would associate with being a brand that says it's suitable for sensitive skin. Yep.
If someone came in to see you and said that they were feeling like they had sensitive skin, what would you expect to see, or how would you expect them to be feeling?
They would maybe see some redness on their skin. They would feel that their skin can be quite reactive to product. It feels quite dry, it can sometimes flake. Really, when the skin barrier has been compromised, and then we see different concerns coming through from the skin.
If someone is sensitive and they put a product on, what kind of reaction might they be getting?
It can be touch sensitive. It either immediately begins to sting or feel hot, or it can then result in some blemishes coming through, just an unhappy skin.
Can all skin types be sensitive? So could you be oily and sensitive? Could you be dry and sensitive?
A sensitive skin is kind of something you kind of have long term. A sensitised skin tends to be where your skin barrier has been compromised by possibly acids, like products that you're using which are really too strong for your skin, or even
or you're not using them in the right way.
Yeah, absolutely. Example like retinols. If you're not a retinol lover and you've never really done the research and you go diving in and use a retinol that's too strong for your skin, that's going to compromise your barrier and potentially really kind of make it very, very sensitive. But normally a sensitised skin is caused by something that you have done to your skin,
factor.
rather than a
It could be
sensitive
sunburn.
skin. It could,
If you haven't been wearing your sunscreen and you get sensitised skin because you've overdone it in the sun.
It can be the elements, so out in the
Even
wind,
wind,
out in the
absolutely.
cold.
Yeah. When we go in seasonal changes, when suddenly you're kind of like in with the air conditioning or with the central heating, a lot of people's skin can really react quite sort of quickly to those.
So our living environment can be something that
Definitely.
sensitises our skin.
Stress
that's true,
can bring
yeah.
on sensitivity
Yeah.
in the skin, but it's whether it's sensitive, as in you've had it for it's ongoing kind of thing, or whether it's sensitised, which is something that you've done to trigger that within your skin.
Are there periods of our life as a woman that we might have more sensitive skin than others?
Literally, I think hormones are real kind of like guiding light with this, because in good and bad, like puberty, your hormones are going crazy, you often will be blemished, your kind of skin will be a bit more oily, and then you kind of hammer through right to the other side where you're in perimenopause, and it's almost like your skin's confused again and doesn't really know what to do, and often with that becomes sensitivity. And yeah, there's so many changes in a person's life that can trigger these things.
Even in the middle of that, you've got pregnancy.
What's a really good basic skincare regime that you would recommend for anyone?
I think a really good routine would be a very gentle cleanser. One of the ones I've just bought in was the new Boots ingredient oat cleanser, so it's going to get your skin really lovely and hydrated and clean. This is the Aveeno Calm range. Aveeno do an amazing range of oat products right the way across the board, but just kind of put a couple of drops on, spread it across your hands and press it really gently, because if you press it into your skin, you get it in nice and deep and it works better, and it will soothe and take away some of the sort of heat and redness.
And I really like the calming gel. It will cleanse off the impurities, but it won't strip that skin. And then I would go on with the skin balancing serum. This has got some great vitamins in it, vitamin C and E and green tea, great antioxidants, but what else they do to your skin is they really help to balance the skin, and we know that sensitive skin has lost some of its balance.
So I noticed you've both recommended a serum as well. So is a serum kind of a real essential for sensitive skin?
I think a serum's essential for all skins actually. I think there's a bit of confusion about what's the difference between a serum and a moisturiser, and the quick way to explain it is serums are always a lighter texture, so they're going to absorb into the layers of your skin deeper. So for a sensitive skin, getting that down into those damaged layers and repairing each layer as each skin is renewing itself, those layers are coming up more healthy and just more renewed, and the barrier is beginning to repair and protect itself.
Are there any ingredients that are absolutely brilliant for sensitive skin that we could look out for?
Ceramides are really great at kind of like protecting and improving your barrier and holding in moisture. So I particularly love these Elizabeth Arden capsules, because being in a capsule, they are pure, and once you sort of like open one up, it's just completely untouched. So if your skin's sensitive, it's least amount of product on it, or at least amount of environmental sort of like...
Not dipping fingers in
Exactly,
and out.
yeah. To be fair, you've really hit a good point there, because that is something that you've got to be very careful of if you have got a sensitive skin. You really don't want to be putting fingers into things.
I really like our number 7 Instant Results Nourishing Hydration Mask. It's got glycerin in it, which we said was the humectant that actually pulled moisture in. Another little tip is it's great as a lip moisturiser overnight as
mask.
well, and any dry skin on your feet. It's so popular. Our customers, when we recommend it once, they continue
try?
to use it. Of course you can. So you see, you
Got
get
my
that gel.
ice cream effect.
Yeah.
It's really cooling, isn't it?
Yes. Yeah.
Because I think, I know myself, when my skin feels very sensitive, what I'm really craving is something that just feels straight away like it offers some instant relief. Lots of people with sensitive skin really struggle to find a good facial SPF that's not causing them to feel itchy.
This is just an aerosol, which is amazing. Factor 50, super lightweight. I'll just spray a little bit so you can just see how light that is. The thing about sunscreen is the reapplication. So when you've gone out with a nice full face of makeup, you really don't want to then have to reapply creams on top. So by having an aerosol, just spritzing it on and you're ready to go. I love this, it's perfect. I think
Great
everyone should have
handbag
one.
size.
Yeah, I think everyone should have one in their handbags.
What about exfoliating on sensitive skin?
Some people are just touch sensitive when their skin is being really sensitive. So absolutely, using a grainy in exfoliator is not going to do you any favours. You're not going to thank me for recommending you a physical exfoliator.
It's important still to get rid of those dead skin cells. I think Lizelle do a beautiful, like, is it Cleanse and Glow?
Yeah, or Cleanse and Polish. Their Cleanse and Polish, the iconic Cleanse and Polish, that is a 2-phase. So you've got your lovely cleanser that's got shea butter in, so it's really, and cocoa butter, and that's really nourishing on your skin.
And are there any other sort of lifestyle factors that might make skin more sensitive?
I love a hot bath, but I also know that when I reached menopause as well, that my skin became more sensitive, and my hot baths were triggering there's more sensitivity within my skin. Sometimes alcohol.
Yeah, the wine flush.
Yeah. You know, spicy foods.
What should we avoid?
I would say, right, we need to cut back on retinol, because of just, it is a very active ingredient. And as we've said, we want to calm the skin down.
I think there's so many great fragrance-free and hypoallergenic products that if you've got the choice, I'd always go down that route, because the less you put on your skin that can make it reactive, the better.
It is important also to say that sensitive skin can become an issue that you need to go and see your doctor about, isn't it? That there's lots of other skin conditions that can feel like sensitive skin or look like sensitive skin, but sometimes it might be a little bit more than kind of...
Absolutely, and we're here to recommend beauty products, but actually if you are concerned or think that it may be more than just sensitised skin, as we've spoken about, you know, you've got your GP, you've got the Boots pharmacist, or even the Boots online doctor that you can ask for some advice about, and then they can advise you further. If you have any questions, leave them below and we'll answer them. Don't forget to subscribe for more advice with Boots.